Here we have a 2022 Mercedes-Benz EQB 300. This one comes in digital white metallic, and then we have black leather interior. Now we have two electric motors, one on each axle, giving us 225 horsepower, 288 pound-feet of torque. And then this one is gonna come in the exclusive trim level. And I'll show you the window sticker. We have a few additional options as well. But coming around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And we have the signature strip going across the front, or going across the top, excuse me. Love the look. And I'm actually feeling these wheels. These are gonna be 19s. Interesting, but they've grown on me. Now we do get passive keyless entry on all four doors. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down windows on all four doors, rear window lock here, power folding mirrors, and then we also have power mirrors that we can adjust here. And then we can also use our blind spot monitors as well. It's a little wet out, so you might not be able to see them. And then we also can pop the lift gate, bottle holder, 3-stage memory seat, just hit M, and then immediately hit the one you wanna change. And then power seat back, seat bottom, 3-stage heated and cooled seats. I think that's like a $950 option. I think it's worth it in my opinion. Headlamp controls are here. You have auto, corners, and then you can turn them on there. And an electronic parking brake, which you press to engage and then pull up to disengage when your foot's on the brake. And there's the power lumbar support control there. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's see how this rear room compares. So what's great is how this is made. I still have about 2 inches of headroom, even though I'm sitting, feels like higher than the front seats. But knees aren't touching the back. I just need to pull this seat up a little bit more because my feet can't fit underneath the seat all the way right now. But I like that we have netted pockets on both sides. Sorry about the darkness in here. See if this will help. And then we have rear AC vents back here. And then down there is a 115 volt 2-prong household plug-in, excuse me. And then 2 USB-C ports there. And then this middle seat folds down. And then you can pull out one cup holder at a time. But let's make our way towards the back. Now we do get LED tail lights, but here's the trunk space. This one has the first aid kit in it, and then a netted pocket over here, as well as over here, and then underneath here, a little bit of storage. And you can also open it by just pulling right there. And sorry about the rain. It will not give me a break at all. Every time I step outside the vehicle, it starts picking up. And then coming around to the right side here, we do have our charge port here. And then you can just lift those up. And then you do get up to 100 kilowatt DC fast charging speed. And then going back to the rear passenger side here, if you want to fold the seat down, pull this, it'll fold flat. You can run longer objects from the back to the front, and then locks back into place pretty easily. And a huge shout out to Mercedes-Benz of Music City. One exit down from the Nashville International Airport for allowing me to review this vehicle today. I'll leave a link below in the description, as well as their entire inventory. But power lumbar supports here. The controls for the front passenger seat, pretty similar to the driver's side. And then to the window sticker here, we still have it for this one. So you can pause anywhere you need to if you want to check that out. But it's still a pretty efficient vehicle. I think it has a 66.5 kilowatt hour battery, so it's not huge, but still you're getting 243 miles of range. And with this kind of vehicle, if you're taking it back and forth to work, you should be good. But I'm actually liking the styling, and I love having the 4MATIC capability with this EQB 300. Especially on a day like today, we'll see how it handles. But hopping back in the driver's seat, we do get a nice leather wrap steering wheel. Start her back up. So I like it's got that flat bottom look as well. But over here to the radio, we get FM as well as Bluetooth audio, so you can go into the radio setting here, go through your FM. I like that you can actually scroll through everything here, or you can use the buttons and knobs down below, which I'll show you. And you also have Bluetooth audio, add a device, connect new device. Pretty easy to set up your new phone. And then your comfort settings are here. You can turn on your seat kinetics if you want to. And then I really like that you can adjust your ambient lighting pretty easily. And then your EQ settings go in here. You can check out the vehicle. So my foot's on the brake, accelerator, and then energy flow, all of that. So super intuitive system, even for this to just be one of the lower electric vehicles that Mercedes offers. And then charging programs, you can set up different ones for home, work, and then just standard, which that is pretty neat. So if you go to, let's say, a hotel, you want to charge it to 100%, so if you have a full battery if you're taking a long trip. But if you're at home, you might want to set it to 80%. If you have a charger at work, maybe you want to set it to 60% just so we can get you back to the house without trying to degrade the battery. So super neat. And then you can set your departure times up as well, so that your vehicle's set up, whether it's heated or cooled, depending on the weather, when you're ready to go to work. And then settings, driver assistance, quick access here. You can go into your vehicles, do the dynamic select. I'll show you that later on though. And then your navigation screen is gonna be right here. And I like the navigation, pretty good picture, especially for this not to be the big old MBUX screen that you get in the EQS 450s. But just go in here, and then it'll start auto-populating destinations, and then it shows you your previous destinations, favorites, points of interest, and then if you need to find a charge station, restaurant, so on and so forth, you can do that. But backup camera, pretty good picture, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel, and then I love that you can toggle your parking sensors on and off, and then it gets real particular about how close you're getting, whether it's in the front or the back. So super neat there. And then we have our AC vents here. I like these as well. You could tilt them up and all of that. And then you have your AC controls down here. Now, if you look closely at the bottom, on the left side and right side, you can see your temperatures. That's for the air conditioning, so you can change that as you need to. And then you can actually pull up the menu by hitting this button here. And then you can control everything from the screen. So whether it's the fan speed, air direction, your pre-entry, all of that's right in here. And you can toggle the whole system off as well. Auto mode. And I like that you can turn the auto mode on and off here, as well as the sync. And then hazards are down here, all of those controls as well. We do have the wireless charging pad here. Love having that. USB-C port. And then we also have a 12 volt. And then our cup holders as well. So we can pop those out if you want to. Now down here, this is how you can actually use the screen, the signature mouse pad here, to go through everything without using the touchscreen. I like that you have the option to use the touchscreen or the pad depending on what you like though. And then we can go through options here and use these all as buttons. But toggle the camera to pull up that digital view, and then we can hit this button to get to our quick access for the vehicle controls, set up our favorites here, and then radio, telephone, navigation, all those quick shortcuts there. And then you can mute by clicking this, and then you can adjust your volume here and there. Now, this is how you go through your drive modes. You have Eco, Comfort, Sport, and then you can set up an individual mode. We'll leave it in Eco for now. And then over here, center console, cubby space, 2 USB-C ports down in there. Pretty good size though. And there's a view of the back from up here. And then I don't really know if you rest your wrist here or what, but that's just kind of there. And then to the left side, stock of the steering wheel, windshield wiper controls, you have your auto sensitivity there. then your rear wiper here, and then you can cut everything off there. We'll cut your front wiper off there, and then you have your front wiper fluid here, and then you have your blinkers, high beams, flash, and then we have our shifter, pull down for drive, tap up for reverse, and then you can just hold it in the middle for neutral, press P for park. Regenerative braking we can control with these paddle shifters, and then we have all of our standard cruise control options here. So on, off, you can set that, resume, cancel, back button, home button, and this little knob is for the gauge cluster. And then you have the same over here, and this is going to be for the radio itself. And then you can set up your voice recognition, favorites, Bluetooth controls, volume, mute. But I really like how this is set up all in all. And I did forget to mention we have the upgraded sound system here, which is pretty nice. Push button start. And finally, here's our key fob. And now it's time to take this EQB 300 4MATIC out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in the EQB 300, love how the vehicle drives. It just feels like, if you want to think of a competitor for a car like this, probably a Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V, but it's a luxury Mercedes. So those vehicles tend to have a certain demographic likes them. They like that it's usable but not hard to drive. It's not super fast, but the power is adequate, and this pretty much hits the nail on the head comparing those if you have the additional funds to get something nicer. Now, of course, the interior on this is going to be better than a RAV4, a CR-V. It's going to feel a bit faster. But what I like about this is it's not, again, it's not difficult to drive. So if you do just want a Mercedes, but you want that same usability, this EQB is the way to go. And I like how the regenerative braking is on this, because it can be, of course you can set it one way or another, but I have it on the strong recuperation now, and I love that feel. And it's pretty easy to drive in this eco mode as well. And another neat feature is with this all digital gauge cluster here, I love seeing the consumption and how the quote unquote tachometer, what you're used to here, it just shows your consumption instead. So when you're burning a lot of electrons, it'll show your meter towards the left side, and when you're maxing your regen or coasting, it'll go more towards the right. Now I did a pull there in sport mode, foot to the floor. Pretty impressed. Now of course you have instant torque in EVs, so even the Nissan Leaf gives you a bit of a pull when you put your foot to it, but that was pretty impressive. But also having that all-wheel drive capability as well, where it's wet out here and all that, it's nice to be able to have that same traction too. So we'll give it another pull here. Yeah, I like that the pull is nice, but it's not super fast, but it definitely gets the job done. Now, of course, it's not gonna pull like an EQS 580 SUV, but for half the price, you get pretty good pull. It's a bit more efficient, and it's just a good everyday commuter car. Space in here is good. I have probably about a half a foot of headroom at least. And I wanna give another huge shout out to Mercedes-Benz of Music City, because they give me an opportunity to kind of compare these vehicles, so I can drive an EQS SUV and then compare it to this EQB and kind of tell you all the big differences. And that's pretty much a big deciding factor, I think, especially if you're used to having a Mercedes. But all in all, for the money, this one's stickered right at around 65 grand. So this one has a little less than 2,000 miles on it. So I don't know what the price is now, but for the money, definitely not a bad option, especially how this one is spec'd out with the AMG night package, the exclusive package, and having the optional heated cooled seats. If this is what you're into, and this is the perfect size for you and you're wanting something luxurious, definitely make sure that you take a look at this 2022 Mercedes-Benz EQB 300 4MATIC.